going through, and it's like she didn't leave a stone unturned for me. I was loving it. Hey boo! Welcome to my channel, She.Read.That. So 2 years ago, during the pandemic, I decided to start reading more. A virtual book club. And that year, I read about 6 books. And then in 2021, I decided, hey, let's double that. And read 24 books. So this year, I challenged myself to read 30 books, and I want to take you on the journey with me. Today, I will be reviewing The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. One of my challenges for reading is when I get to the book that I want to read, I always forget, how did I learn about this book? Who recommended this book? What TV show was I watching? What YouTube channel was I watching? But today, I remembered who recommended this book. It was my neighbor, my old neighbor. During the pandemic, she says, hey, do you want this book? And I said, well, yeah. Hey, that was 2 years ago, and I just got on the Taylor Jenkins Reid train. And baby, I'm loving it. I've already read one of her books, and it's like one of my favorites. And then so when I saw that The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo was also written by Taylor Jenkins Reid, I said, why haven't I read this book already? I would rate this book 5 stars. So let me tell you a little bit about my rating scale. So if I rate a book 5 stars, which I have for The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, that means I did not want this book to end. It was just a great book. It was a great book for me. If I rate a book 4 stars, that means that it was a great book. It was good. 4 stars is good. 3 stars, it was okay. It was just okay. Some things in there, it could have improved for me, but it was okay. 2 stars, 1 star, if I rate a book 1 star, you probably won't even hear about it because that would be how awful the book is. So what did I think about the book, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo? I thought I was watching a movie as I read. It really took me through a journey. First, just thinking about the title and looking at the cover of this book. She's a bad one, right? You don't see her face, so you don't get that aspect, but you can tell like she's a bad one. And I was like, I want to see how she, goes through these 7 husbands. I mean, 7? I haven't even got my first husband yet. I'm working on it, but I haven't gotten it yet. But she's went through 7 husbands? So that intrigued me, first of all, with the book. The book started in Hell's Kitchen. It's in New York. Evelyn Hugo's a young girl, and that wasn't even her name, child. Her name, she changed her name to, let's see. We'll put what she changed her name to. I don't know. She was a bad one. She left New York at the age of 15 to pursue this acting career. Now, this was back in the 50s. So you got to go through this journey of Evelyn Hugo being this Hollywood actress. She goes from New York to get away from her parents to Hollywood, and she kind of worked her way to the top, if you know what I mean. So her first marriage was at the age of 15. And you could tell it was more of a marriage of convenience. She needed to get away from New York, away from her parents, away from her dad rather. I think her mom passed at an early age, but she needed to get away from her dad. And so that was the, back in the day, that was the only way that you could kind of move along, is to get married off. And so that's how she finally broke away. But when she got to the West Coast, she began to work it. And as she was working her way through Hollywood and gaining status, she changed husbands. And I will say there is one particular relationship that Evelyn just truly resonated with, and that was the one. That was the one. You guys have to read it to find out, but it was the unexpected love story. I'll say that. It was unexpected. Right in like the close to the end of the book, it reveals, no, I would say it's like in the middle. It's like in the middle, but it kind of pops up throughout until we get to the end. My favorite part, Evelyn Hugo is giving bad energy, okay? And I was here for it. I was like, okay, I see you. I see what you did there. I love it. It's great. Going through, and she it's like she didn't leave a stone unturned for me. I was loving it, loving her going through the different decades and how the story unfolds. And so the book is actually an interview. Evelyn's old at the beginning of the book, so we go from old and like she's reminiscing throughout the book until we get to present day. And the interviewer is like this no-name interviewer reporter, and Evelyn handpicks her to do an interview for figure out, well, why did you pick this girl? Like, she's not a top interviewer, a top reporter, but she chose her. What surprised me about this book, the interviewer, that whole situation with the interviewer, it definitely surprised me, caught me off. The one love interest that Evelyn Hugo seems to really gravitate for, that kind of caught me by surprise as well. But I was here for that too. So let's go. Now, who should read this book? If you are ready to fully get immersed within a book and you love reading books that go throughout times in history, this book is for you. It's just a little steamy. It's not too steamy, just a little bit. If you love to see a woman really working her career, you want to read this book. Because there's also some heartbreak that's involved with the book as well, just to kind of give you that roller coaster. Did I cry? A little baby tear. So it was a little sad. There were some parts in it that were sad, and it kind of just really made your heartstrings tug a little bit. But that's what I think. That's the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo for you. Now, I have a question for you. Did you subscribe to this YouTube channel? Well, if you have not, I need you to pause it right now. I need you to go and hit that subscribe button. Like this video. And until next time, bye.